It's that time again. It's time for another Saturday night special where we talk about everything rockhounding related. Hope you all had a fabulous 4th of July. Ours was quite nice. We went to the parade here in town and it was nice. It was a different experience than things that we've done in the past. So very cool. Well, we have been doing some rockhounding. We've been doing some exploring here in southern Utah, and I must say, it has been quite amazing. So, perhaps you saw, we went to the Twisted Forest Agate Trailhead and didn't do too well. We got these little pieces of chalcedony, which are not super... Wait, we're not focusing, are we? Not super impressive, right? These little guys here, okay? Unimpressive stuff. So, after that, we did do a little bit of a drive back down because we were going to, look at the stuff that Brian had, and these two guys basically were falling out of the road cut, these chunks of chalcedony, which I think that would be really nice to cut on the saw. And similar to the material that we picked up out at Fiddler's Canyon, I could dissolve this away, but it just seems like crusty bits, and it's almost probably better to lop it off with the saw. So, and then there's this guy right here, which, as we spend time exploring different parts of southern Utah, something that I'm learning is that basically every single place, almost every single place, has agate, has an abundance of agate. And, we've just done some exploring around, and, it seems like there's agate popping out all over the place. And even if you just kind of keep your eyes open as you're driving some of these back roads, you're going to come across some interesting things. You might spot a little piece of agate on the side of the road and walk up a hill and see something significantly larger coming out that you feel the need to pick out and wash off and and bring home to power wash and see just how good it is. And we've been doing some things just like that. One thing I have been really enjoying is this guy. This is the Estwing Burpee pick. Now the Burpee, it's like the little brother to the Estwing Geo pick, which is significantly bigger. We have a flat bladed end here, and then we have a hard pick end, but it's like more the size of a hammer, which is nice, versus the Geo pick, which is significantly larger. Okay, the Burpee has been really nice because so much of the agate seems like it's just like really kind of cemented in place. So we've been using that probably a little much. It's good to be able to pick and chip away at some of this stuff. But let's look at some of these agates that we have found here, because the diversity here is quite good. And I found something that I thought was quite interesting. So check this out. Those are little chunks of chalcedony in here, all kind of stuck together, and you can kind of see that in this. It's almost like a conglomerate of chalcedony chunks, which I've never seen that before. I mean, clearly that is like a possibility from a geologic standpoint. Why couldn't you have a bunch of broken up pieces of chalcedony that kind of get smushed and turned into a conglomerate, the same way we would typically see with like river rock. River rock, you'll see that fairly often. Also, just the colors, right? So this is probably one of the more blue things that I've seen and came across, right? I would say that's definitely on the more blue end of that blue-gray spectrum, which we have explored. And then sitting right next to it, you can have something like this. You can have those two agates, those two colors, side by side sitting on the ground, which is crazy that is a thing. And these were just surface picked, by the way. But yeah, so we've been driving around and doing some exploring, doing some collecting, and thoroughly enjoying our time out here in southern Utah. And one of the places that we went to was, we drove through Orderville. And Orderville, that's like right outside of Zion, and there is a bunch of rock shops there. One in particular, Joe's Rock Shop, which we stopped by because I believe Joe, or the current owner of Joe's Rock Shop, I don't know if Joe is still highly involved in it, but they have the claim out on Muddy Creek, I believe, for the Septarian nodules, and we went out there to touch bases and maybe see if we could get some permission to go out there. And unfortunately, Joe was not there, which that was a little bit of a bummer, but you know, what are you gonna do, right? We did go and check out some of the other rock shops that ended up, I kind of felt like they're a little on the more touristy side, which that should probably be expected, being out in, or you know, right on that edge of Zion and being a national park. There's plenty of tourists that might want to stop in and pick up a colorful piece of slag glass. Not that there's anything wrong with slag, but it is a man-made product, and it's just not something I'm into. But I could kind of see how a person, especially if you're really into flint knapping, might just be happy to have those colors. That's for sure a thing that you could do. I have spent an excessive amount of time over the years researching places to go. That is a thing I have done in excess. And this like move down here has been interesting because, well, all of that research that I've done over the years is kind of gone, because we don't live where all that research was focused, which was that, like, you know, Eastern Washington, Northeast Washington, Oregon, zeolites of the Pacific Northwest, things like that. So really starting off fresh here, which has been a little bit of a challenge to kind of just come up with all the different places to go, but I have quite the list already going, and I'm looking forward to sharing some of these rockhounding spots with you in some future videos. So stay tuned for that. And yeah, we're going to start working out on the shop and getting that all built out. Those will be some coming videos in the coming month or two. And I think with that said, stay tuned for a bunch of probably agate rockhounding. We're going to be doing hitting a bunch of different agate localities out here because, well, southern Utah, like I've shown you, has agate hunting locations in spades. So, and if you want to support this project, you could do so by heading on over to Patreon and helping out over there. There's a lot of exclusive videos. You can watch these things ad-free, and the support goes a long way in making these projects happen that I work on around here. Well, do you like agates? I do. Especially when you have this like interesting selection. I guess you know what, the video is not done. I usually put that in at the end. Okay, so another thing that I've been learning a lot about. I've been reading everything I can about some of the different sandstone units that we have out here, especially the Navajo sandstone. And yeah, mostly Navajo. I've been learning a lot about that. That's some of the closest stuff to me. There's a lot to it that I guess maybe I always thought it was a more simple feature. I don't know how to say this. You know, basalt has a cool story. Granites have a cool story. Like igneous rocks, metamorphic rocks have this like cool story to them that I've gotten into over the years, I guess, and like a lot of the minerals that are associated with it, as opposed to, you know, sedimentary things. But now I'm learning, which it's a fun process, and I'll be sharing some of that with you here in the future as well. Well, all right, that's actually the end. Thanks for coming by, hanging out with me out here, and it's fun to get back into the swing of things.